If you watched my video for number 7, you heard a very long, complicated, algebra-heavy kind of discussion of the question. Not happening here. This one is super easy once we know our SAT strategies. So we would look at this, and if you got it wrong and you're watching this video because you were confused, I've got good news for you. The very reason you were confused is the solution that we're going to use to actually get the question right. So most people look at this and they're like, I can't solve this. I don't know what A and B are. If I knew A and B, then I'd be able to just plug it in and know and get this answer. Well, good news, we have a strategy that basically is exactly that. Arithmetizing means that we take these letters and we replace them with numbers because B and A, we're never asked to solve for those things, right? So they do not have specific values, most likely, which means we can make up our own values. Now, sometimes we can just make up any numbers that we want, and we can just pick whatever is easiest or laziest, whatever. In this case, we do have a restriction. This equation at the beginning is a restriction. It's a rule, and so we can pick any numbers, but they have to follow that rule. And so the easiest numbers to pick would just be 2 and 1, right? Because if A over B is equal to 2, well, 2 over 1 is also equal to 2. Right, so in that case, A would be 2 and B would be 1. And if we plugged those numbers now into this other thing, right, that would be 4 times 1 over 2. Well, 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2, and that's an answer, and that's the answer. That's it. And that would be all I would do on this question on the test. I would not do anything else. I'd be very confident in that, and I would move on. However, if you're new to the SAT, then you might have some questions. The most obvious one is, well, what if we picked different numbers for A and B, right? How do we know that A is 2 and B is 1? I mean, that doesn't say that. You just made them up. Well, yeah, but the way that this strategy works is on the questions where we can use it, the numbers don't matter. As long as we follow whatever rule we're given, we're good. So if we know that A over B has to be 2, we could come up with basically infinite combinations of A over B. As long as they equal 2, we're good. So the next obvious one would be 4 over 2, right? 4 divided by 2 is 2. So do the same thing. So 4B over A would be 4 times 2, because A is 4 and B is 2, divided by 4. Well, you can see that the 4's will cancel, but even still, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Same answer. And it's because there's like a fundamental rule of algebra going on here. And that's how the book would probably want you to solve it. I don't know what the SAT's explanation of this question is, but I'm sure it's bad. They're going to tell you to do something like this. A over B is equal to 2. Therefore, B over A is equal to 1/2. Okay, so you can do that with fractions. You can flip them upside down and just kind of reverse what's on top, what's on the bottom. So if A over B is 2 over 1, then B over A is 1/2. And they would want us to recognize that 4B over A is the same as 4 times B over A, which then would be 4 times 1/2, which is also 2. So it's gettable really quickly if we understand the algebra. But if you're watching this video, it's probably because you didn't understand the algebra. And so this is why arithmetize is so awesome, is the very thing that you were confused about by this question. That impulse that you have, that concern, that worry, that problem, is also its solution. It's the thing that tells us to try arithmetizing in the first place. If you're looking at an algebra question and you're thinking, gee, it would be really easy if I knew the values of these variables. That's your brain telling you, try arithmetizing. Most of the time it'll work, and you'll get these kinds of questions right confidently and quickly. And yeah, there'll be other places where you can do algebra, but at least you'll have locked up these points.